That's all I do. Like,
You guys recognizing that he's an LRO with no maintenance in his background.
no, I said yes.
This is fantastic. I may have figured it out, but maybe not.
Good, all right, how are you? That's actually me.
I really do appreciate that. Starting this conversation out takes some time.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just, I mean, they have the details like we do here, you know. Yeah, yeah. But that's Kelly, I mean, me personally. Yeah.
I 18 minus 6. 11. So 12 minutes.
Okay.
Sir?
Like see by class or teaching?
Maybe.
IDE. That's awesome. Uh-huh.
Really, leaving the water.
Cool.
South. Green, Washington, D.C.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Big time down there.
Handing it off actually this week and next week. Right. So,
Cool.
Cool. The yoke is slowly
Hey, what? No. Oh, yeah. Actually, she did mention that.
I'm glad she's getting it.
Yeah.
Pleased to have her. Soto has to do Metropolis.
Cool. Great. Cities or?
I don't know. Would that be an abstract? Sorry,
As long as you're on the road.
But yeah. So, and then she's getting a lot more responsibility put on her.
Yeah.
Good at this point?
Yep. Nope. We're good, dude. We are ready to go. We're already recording.
Need a water? Yeah. Okay. It's important. Let's do it.
Still not too bad. I'll figure it out.
Oh,
Okay.
quite thankful. Every event. Yeah, right? I'm sure every time some like majors like get really good.
Yeah.
I know. Three o'clock. It's a view. I joy in the view. I can tell you.
I've been in
It's gonna be awesome time.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? At this time, we request that all electronic devices be silenced for the duration of the ceremony. As a reminder, this is an outdoor ceremony. Therefore, all military personnel are requested to don their covers and stand at attention upon the arrival of the official party. Military personnel will also render a salute during the singing of the national anthem. Our civilian guests are invited to join us by placing their right hand over their heart during the national anthem. Good afternoon. On behalf of Colonel White, Commander 305th Operations Group, welcome to today's Change of Command ceremony, where Lieutenant Colonel James A. Putnam will relinquish command of the organization to Lieutenant Colonel David M. Bishop. I am Captain Garrick Seaver from Airfield Operations, and I am your MC for today's ceremony. Throughout military history, soldiers in the field often could not identify their own commanders. Recognizing this problem, the Continental Army of the United States conducted the first official Change of Command ceremony. Today, just as in the past, the formal change of command allows service members to witness the actual transfer of command between two officers and see their new commander firsthand. The change of command also adds color and pageantry to military life through the transfer of the symbolic unit guidon, while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. Shortly, the organization guidon will be passed from Lieutenant Colonel Putnam to Lieutenant Colonel Bishop, signifying the official change of command. Throughout today's ceremony, you will be given various cues to stand and be seated. As a reminder, civilian guests should place their right hand over their heart during the national anthem. The formation commander for today's ceremony is 305th Operations Support Squadron Director of Operations, Major Kyle Gentili. Bearing the squadron guidon is the 305th Operations Support Squadron Senior Enlisted Leader, Senior Master Sergeant Jeremy Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, singing of the national anthem by Mrs. Jessica Dienst, and the invocation by Chaplain Meade Adams.
Present the colors. Present heart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I invite you to pray with me. God of grace and God of love, as we gather here this afternoon to witness the changing of command for the 305th Operations Support Squadron, we give you thanks for the faithful leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Andy Putnam, as he has skillfully and faithfully piloted this squadron to success. His excellent leadership has led this squadron to fly high with many victories and accomplishments. Thank you for his commitment to this squadron and to the airmen of the OSS. We are grateful for his warm and friendly disposition, for the welcoming smile he always had on his face. He truly embodied what a caring leader and a man of faith ought to be. And Lord, we realize that leadership like Colonel Putnam's would not have been possible without the foundation of support his family provided for him, And so we ask your blessings now upon him, his wife Sarah, and their children Daniel and Graham. Bless them as they turn the page to a new and exciting chapter in their lives. And now may you grant both wisdom and guidance upon Lieutenant Colonel David Bishop as he takes command of this outstanding squadron, knowing as it is written, to whom much is given, much is required. May you give him courage, wisdom, and patience as he leads in excellence, integrity, and service. Bless his wife, Lindsay, and their children, Amelia, Jack, Finley, and Grayson, and all the other friends and family gathered here as they rally around him and support him through his tenure as he dedicates himself to the fulfillment of this mission and the service of these airmen. And lastly, may we dedicate ourselves to support Colonel Bishop as we accomplish this mission together, knowing that greater things are yet to come. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Adams and Mrs. Dienst. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, please join me in recognizing our official party. Presiding Officer and Commander, 305th Operations Group, Colonel Kevin White and his wife, Sandy. The outgoing Commander, Lieutenant Colonel James Putnam. The incoming Commander, Lieutenant Colonel David Bishop. Please join me in recognizing our distinguished visitors and honored guests attending today's ceremony. Please hold applause until all have been introduced. Commander, United States Air Force Expeditionary Center, Brigadier General Stephen Snelson. Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Kathleen Hassan and her husband, Mr. Lance Spear. Deputy Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel William Soto. Command Chief, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Tiffany Sargent and her husband, Senior Master Sergeant Adam Sargent. Senior Enlisted Leader, 305th Operations Group, Chief Master Sergeant Christopher Joyce and his wife Amber. Chief of Legislative Affairs, United States Transportation Command, Colonel Doug Hall, United States Air Force retired. Honorary Commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, Mr. John Murphy. The outgoing commander's family, his wife Sarah and their children Daniel and Graham. His father, Colonel Jim Putnam, United States Air Force retired, and his mother-in-law, Miss Peggy Ford, and her husband Bill. His brother-in-law, John Malone, sister-in-law, Laura Malone, and their children, Abram, Caleb, Luke, and Seth. The incoming commander's family, his wife Lindsay, and their children, Amelia, Jack, Finley, and Grayson. His mother Sandy and his father, Colonel Michael Bishop, United States Army, retired. We also welcome all commanders, honorary commanders, first sergeants, civilians, and special guests. Thank you so much for attending. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander, 305th Operations Group, Colonel Kevin White.
Okay, I'm gonna hold it. That's why you're holding it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, airmen, sailors, families, friends, distinguished guests. Thank you all for joining us in this important occasion as we not only pass the guide on and usher in a new chapter for the 305th Operations Support Squadron, but this ceremony also honors the continuity of leadership, and it reflects the strength and legacy of the units we serve. A few units embody that legacy as proudly as the 305th OSS, which we also affectionately refer to it as the Rock. There's a few thank yous I need to get out here. Let me start with Miss Jessica Dienst. Thank you, ma'am. I know I told you I've seen you on the phone before performing. I've never heard you live. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for doing that. Chaplain Adams, it's always been a pleasure. Thank you for continuing your support of this group and of these squadrons and of these airmen. It truly matters. Thank you for that. To the team that organized the ceremony, Lieutenant Haywood, Sergeant Vasquez, and the rest of the team, thank you all for your professionalism and your dedication. To our distinguished guests up here in the front row, General Snelson, Colonel Hassan and Lance, Colonel Soto, Chief Sergeant, Mr. Hall, Mr. Murphy, thank you all for taking the time out of your very busy days and schedules to make it out here today. We appreciate it. To our maintenance teammates, thank you for letting us use your hangar and your amazing aircraft. To all the other colonels, chiefs, commanders, first sergeants, teammates, we appreciate your support. Now to the truly honorary members in the crowd, that's the families of Lieutenant Colonels Putnam and Bishop. As we know, family or service is a family affair. Team Putnam, Sarah, Daniel, Graham, thank you for your continued support of your husband and father. Thank you for allowing him to accomplish a very difficult but very important job over these past 2 years. I hope that you all enjoy your upcoming vacation and a little bit of respite and more time with Andy. Now obviously service runs in the family because Andy's father, as you already heard, is retired Air Force Colonel Jim Putnam. Sir, I told you before the ceremony, and I'll say it again, you should be proud. To Colonel Putnam's in-laws, Peggy, John, Laura, and kids, Abram, Caleb, Luke, and Seth, we're excited you're here with us today. The Team Bishop. In speaking with Dave this past week, it was obvious that family is a high priority to him. To Lindsay, Amelia, Jack, Finley, and Grayson, I'm so excited that you get to stay with and continue to support The Rock. Thank you so much for your continued care and to your father and husband, and I know that doesn't come without your own sacrifices. It so happens that Dave also comes from a family of service, but with a twist, where I believe he grew up hearing hooah a little bit more than the rest of us. His father, retired Army Colonel Michael Bishop, mother Sandy, grandmother Joanne are with us today. This is a momentous occasion for the Bishop family, and one that Dave didn't get here on his own. To have all your support and guidance is invaluable to his continued success. The 305th OSS's distinguished history began in April of 1943, when it was first activated as the 305th Aerodrome Squadron. In the crucible of World War II, this unit proved its mettle in the South Pacific, directly supporting aviation pioneers and warfighters on the front lines of freedom. Amongst those that it supported was none other than our own Major Thomas McGuire Jr., a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient and the namesake of McGuire Air Force Base. The same fighting spirit, the same relentless dedication to the mission that enabled McGuire's historic success lives on in this squadron today. In August of '91, the unit was redesignated the 305th Operations Support Squadron, a name that frankly reflects the increasingly complex global nature of its mission. Since then, the 305th OSS has evolved into a multifaceted organization, critical to the success of air mobility operations across the globe. Today, the squadron serves as the beating heart of operational support, planning, execution of the Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst. From airfield operations to intelligence, weather, aircrew training, tactics, and beyond, this squadron is the unseen hand that enables the 305th Air Mobility Wing to project power through global reach and agile maneuver. Over the past 2 years, that mission has been led with excellence by Lieutenant Colonel Andy Putnam. Under Colonel Putnam's leadership, the OSS has not only executed his mission flawlessly, but has driven innovation at every level. He led a complex, multidimensional team with poise and vision, enabling global operations and pushing boundaries of what's possible in our domain. Colonel Putnam led operations support across 9 flights, 2 unique airfields, supporting 88 tenant units, 42,000 base personnel, and enabling 120,000 flight operations per year in the command's most complex airspace. You set the bar high, Andy. Your team benchmarked agile combat employment by establishing our joint base's first taxiway landing zone, propelled the first employment of the air battle managers on KC-46s to provide contingency command and control, enabled the first KC-46 CENTCOM deployment in less than 72 hours from notification, facilitated the first presidential visit to the joint base in over a decade, and established new combat capabilities in 2 separate weapon systems, all while setting the standard of total force teamwork with 2 separate total force partners. And I see some of them in the room out there today. Andy, your impact on the squadron and on the broader mobility enterprise has been profound. Your commitment to your airmen, to excellence, to innovation, has left a lasting legacy. On behalf of all of us, and me personally, thank you for your service and your leadership. Now, as we look to the future, we are incredibly fortunate to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Dave Bishop as the next commander of the Rock. Colonel Bishop brings with him a wealth of operational experience, a deep understanding of the mission, and the kind of steady, strategic leadership that this squadron needs for challenges ahead. Dave, you are absolutely the right leader for this job. Your background, your vision, your passion for the mission, your airmen, and your sailors will ensure that the OSS continues to thrive and evolve. You inherit a proud lineage, an extraordinary team, and I have no doubt that you will take it to new heights. To the men and women of the Rock, thank you for your tireless efforts that enable the global reach and global power. You carry a legacy that dates back over 80 years, and your work today is every bit as important as it was in those islands in the Pacific during World War II. Congratulations to both Andy and Dave and the families who support them. This squadron's past is heroic, its present is exceptional, and its future is in outstanding hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel White. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal.
Publish the orders.
Attention orders. Lieutenant Colonel James A. Putnam distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, 305th Operations Group, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, New Jersey. During this period, Lieutenant Colonel Putnam led a team of 330 airmen, sailors, and civilians, overseeing 2 airfields and $9 billion in assets, providing support to 88 state, federal, and Department of Defense agencies. Additionally, he managed a $293 million flying hour program and provided nonstop air traffic control services, ensuring the safe operation of 120,000 flights per year. Moreover, Colonel Putnam's team hosted 2 joint base open house and air shows, providing outreach and recruiting for 250,000 attendees. Furthermore, he oversaw exceptional operations support for all 6 assigned tanker and airlift squadrons, ensuring the first certified KC-46 force element, the first KC-46 Central Command force element deployment, and enduring support to the highest task C-17 Squadron in Air Mobility Command. Finally, his leadership resulted in 20 Major Command and 4 Air Force level annual awards. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Lieutenant Colonel Putnam reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Commander, Lieutenant Colonel James Putnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Major Gentile, please put the troops at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Wing and group leadership, fellow squadron commanders, honorary commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, friends and families, everyone here. I know it's warm. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're working on some weather generation to make some wind. We're working on it. Thank you for joining us today in this milestone for the 305th Operations Support Squadron. I'll be saying thanks and we'll keep this brief and we'll move this on. First, I have to give thanks to Jesus Christ, who is my rock, and who I depend daily on for strength, peace, and wisdom. Anything admirable you see in me is a result of my daily walk with Jesus. To my dad, together with my mom, showed me what a life of love and dedicated service to our country looks like. Dad, thank you for all that you taught me, your continued example, and all your love. I know Mom would be proud. Next, the national anthem sung by Jessica Dienst. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your talent with us today. Chaplain Adams, your support for the operations group, you're moving in vacation, and thank you for praying me into the Rock 2 years ago, and thank you for praying for the Rock and praying me out today. It means a lot. To our narrator, Captain Garrick Stever, an incredible officer, thank you, especially for having you up on stage today as you conclude your time with the 305th OSS. To our change of command team leads, Lieutenant Haywood and Tech Sergeant Vasquez, Master Sergeant Select Vasquez, and our entire support team, thank you for your work behind the scenes to make this event happen. To Colonel Mix, Lieutenant Colonel Passietta, Chief McClendon, our maintenance teammates who we admire deeply, thank you for sharing the C-17 and the hangar today. It means a lot. Brigadier General Snelson, sir, your time in command of the 305th OSS and your leadership is an important part of the squadron's legacy, and we're honored that you came to join us today. Thank you. Colonel Hassan, Colonel Soto, Chief Sergeant, thank you for being here today and the continued trust and the daily privilege to lead and serve the amazing people in the teams of the 305th OSS. Colonel White, thank you for presiding today and your comments. It has been an honor to serve with you among the warfighters of the 305th Operations Group. Thank you for your trust, mentorship, your approachability, your grace, and your sense of humor. To Colonel Wiederholt and Colonel Hansen, I appreciate and thank you for the opportunity to come to the 305th Operations Group and command an amazing squadron. To our family, Peggy and Bill Ford, John and Laura Malone, thank you for coming to join us today, join the Putnams. To our nephews, thank you, we're excited that you're here. To my boys, Daniel and Graham, thank you for being an enthusiastic part of our Air Force family. Daniel, thank you for your daily love and encouragement. These last few years, it's meant the world to me. And to Graham, thank you for making us laugh and being a sweet and silly young man. Mom and I love you both so much. And as a small way to say thank you for your patience, I have a small gift for each of you here in a moment, and we'll use those gifts to have more adventures together. To my wife, Sarah, you're a truly amazing wife, mother, homeschool teacher, key spouse mentor, loving military spouse, and my very best friend. Thank you for being my equal partner and having a beautiful heart to serve the men and women of the OSS together with me. I'm proud to be your husband, and every day is better because of you. Please accept these flowers as a small token of my appreciation and our trip together for all that you've done for the past years. And so teammates, as I conclude 3 years of the OSS, I want to focus on 3 things, briefly: people, mission, teamwork. First, the people of the 305th OSS, airmen, sailors, civilians, and families. For the 3 years that I've worn our patch, I've been amazed by our people. Some have been practicing our craft for 4 years, others have demonstrated mastery over 40 years or more. All have made the choice to serve, and we continue to deliver outstanding operations support 24 hours a day. For everything we do to support operations that are joint base and enable rapid global mobility, our airmen and sailors get it done every day. Special thanks to our OSS civilians. I am awestruck at the knowledge, passion, expertise, and leadership you provide to our team. We could not do our mission without you. As skilled professionals, you can serve anywhere, and you choose to serve with us. You truly matter, and we are honored to serve with you. Thank you. Second, the mission. We have no shortage of mission in the 305th OSS, and yet every day our teams rally and lean into whatever our base and our nation asks of us. We supported the stand-up of the KC-46 Pegasus Tankster fleet, built out all requirements and teams, and moved out to enable any mission set asked of us, to include multiple Indo-Pacific Bomber Task Forces, the first KC-46 Middle East deployment, and we're supporting another tanker deployment even as we speak. We're advancing training and tactics for both the C-17 and the KC-46 teams and continue to look for ways to support our warfighters. And for our C-17 teammates, we continue to stand shoulder to shoulder as you're the highest tasked C-17 Squadron Air Mobility Command. 305th was involved in almost any mission you could imagine, to include supporting the President of the United States here on base, and our teams did exceedingly well. OSS teammates, you need never wonder if your service is meaningful or for what you do makes a difference. Our actions have daily impact for this joint base and often global impact to the Department of Defense and our allies. And third, teamwork. You've heard me say that our squadron is a team of teams, to quote General McChrystal, and I truly believe it. These teams are built on the Air Force core values of integrity, service before self, and excellence. I'm particularly proud and thankful for our many joint and total force partnerships and friendships in many areas, to include the 514th OSS, the 108th OSS, the Contingency Response Wing, our Air Base Wing, and our Navy teammates, and so many others. We are truly stronger with you. Thank you. And one team I'm extremely thankful for is our 305th OSS Command Team, known affectionately as the Quad. Leadership is not a solo journey, and together with an amazing Director of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel Bishop, we've been blessed with true servant leaders in the roles of Enlisted Leader and First Sergeant. To our OSS senior enlisted leaders, Chief John Armstrong, Chief Tanita Harris, Senior Claudia Edwards, Chief John Dixon, and Senior Jeremy Cole, thank you. Thank you for your mentorship, leadership, and incredible teamwork as we serve the Rock. I was proud to do it with you. You made all the difference. To our world-class OSS First Sergeants, Master Sergeant James Peters, Master Sergeant Amanda Answer, and Master Sergeant Nicole Schreffler, thank you for your mentorship, leadership, and tremendous care for our people. Your support has made us the high-performing team that we are. And finally, to our incoming commander and my dear friend, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Bishop. Dave, the amount of leadership, firepower, teamwork, and excellence you brought to the team over the last 2 years cannot be understated. At every turn, you led boldly, you took care of our people, you engaged targets and made the squadron better and more effective at mission execution. You are absolutely the right choice to command the squadron. I will rest easy knowing that your leadership and care for our people will enable new heights for the 305th OSS. Congratulations. Sarah and I wish you and Lindsay and the Bishop family the very best. And finally, to the men and women of the 305th Operations Support Squadron, it has been the honor of my life to serve with you and for you these last few years. In closing, I ask you to remember this. Be proud of who we are and what we do. Thank you.
At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Putnam will now receive his final salute as commander of the 305th Operation Support Squadron.
Sir, thank you for your steadfast leadership to the Rock.
Carry on, Rock.
Order. Hooray.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command.
Publish the orders.
Attention orders for Order GO-25-0006 and by direction of the Commander, 305th Operations Group, Colonel Kevin E. White, Lieutenant Colonel James A. Putnam relinquishes command of the 305th Operations Support Squadron to Lieutenant Colonel David M. Bishop, effective 6 June 2025.
Sir, I relinquish command.
Sir, I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to introduce the Commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel David Bishop.
There you go, Dave.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today and sweating with us together in the hangar. This is a moment I've dreamed about for a long time. The privilege and honor to lead an Air Force squadron is something I've worked towards my entire career. Continuing to serve in the Rock is the most amazing assignment that I can ever ask for, and I am humbled by the opportunity. But today is not about me. Today is about the thanks earned by those who made today possible. It's about the never-ending gratitude to Andy and the entire Putnam family for their leadership and sacrifice in service of our amazing squadron. And finally, today is about all those present in person and in spirit to bear witness to the commitments made to the Rock. To the Can-Do Wing leaders, Colonel Hassan, ma'am, thank you for placing your trust in me to lead the men and women of the 305th OSS. I will not let them down. Colonel Soto, Chief Sergeant, and all other 305th Air Mobility Wing, Joint Base, senior enlisted leaders, spouses, and all of the teammates present, it is a pleasure having you with us today. Thank you. Brigadier General Snelson, Though my time as your squadron exec was brief, you might not remember, you made a lasting impression on me as a young captain in all our interactions then and since. And I'm sure it's hard to believe that it was 12 years ago today that you gave up that exact same flag. Welcome back to the Rock, sir. To my incredible wife, Lindsay, and thank you for enabling me through every single part of my Air Force journey. Today represents the result of your tireless support and sacrifice. I look forward to serving the members of the squadron together. To my awesome and crazy kids, Amelia, Jack, Finley, and Grayson, thank you for understanding the amount of time that Daddy spends on work. Someday I hope you all find something that you love as much as I love serving my country, so that what you do never feels like work. I love you all very much. Mom and Pop, I've yet to live up to the example you both set as parents or in your own respective careers, but I continue to strive for that mark. Thank you both for your never-ending support. I have never known anything else, and I am so grateful. Pop, my only regret is that Granddad could not be with us today. I am confident he would approve. To my in-laws, Jeff and Lori, thank you for your support over the years and for being here today. To my siblings through birth and through marriage, watching in the future, Katie, Meredith, and Hannah, I miss you all. And to my brothers, Mike, an Army veteran and Purple Heart recipient, and Jeffrey, who was on his first combat deployment as a Strike Eagle pilot. Thank you both for your inspirational service to our country. To my best friends, Drew Bateman and Justin Poole, our friendship continues to ensure my mental health and inspire my service. Thank you both. And to my longtime mentors, Colonel Jacko Benoni and Mr. Doug Hall, I am blessed to have learned from your leadership, mentorship, and now friendship. Thank you. Over the last 2 years as the OSS DO, I have had the privilege of working with some amazing people. So to tell you, to all my fellow DOs, the flight commanders, execs, enlisted leaders, first sergeants, ADOs, senior NCOs, NCOs, airmen, civilians, and sailors, from the Rock and beyond, thank you. And then finally, I'd like to shout out our Total Force partners, especially from the 514th and the 108th OSS. I could not be more grateful for how closely our units have integrated to ensure unrivaled operational support. Special thanks to Lieutenant Colonel Tim Goodwillie and my friend and mentor, Lieutenant Colonel Keel Gilliland, and Mrs. Gilliland, Colonel Gilliland now, whose office is now directly, Keel's office is now directly across the hall from me, which is kind of awesome. And now for the Putnam family. Sarah, for 3 years, you served with dedication, compassion, and resiliency as the squadron's key support mentor. Your diligent support and consistent care made a dramatic impact on the squadron, and we are very thankful for your efforts. To Daniel and Graham, I know how grateful your parents are for their sacrifices that allowed them both to take such good care of our unit. Thank you, gentlemen. And now for Andy. I was spoiled as a DO, not because it was easy, but because it was easy to work for and with Lieutenant Colonel Putnam. For those seeking to emulate a leader who provides clear guidance, empowers his people to meet the mission, trusts their decisions, supports their actions, and genuinely cares for his people, you need look no further than Andy Putnam. You all already heard about the incredible things the OSS accomplished under his tenure. So as I reflected on what else to say about him, I decided to cheat and use something that I'd already written during the holiday season. Quote, Andy, you have demonstrated the level of leadership during your command tour that I aspire to emulate when given the chance. You have consistently shown the level of extreme leadership and responsibility of your organization required of a commander without any of the negative influences of hubris that so often accompany positions of power. Over the last 2 years, I have learned so much vicariously through your actions, but also deliberately through your mentorship. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to lead and to follow. To the entire Putnam family, the men and women of the 305th OSS, thank you for your stewardship and leadership of our amazing unit. Henceforth, you'll always be members of the Rock. And finally, to the members of the 305th Operations Support Squadron, Air Force, Navy, civilian, the chance to continue serving alongside you is perhaps the greatest opportunity the Air Force has ever given me. Please know that I hold sacred the covenant between the leader and the led. I commit myself willingly to this vaulted task and obligation. Together, we will continue to push the boundaries of dedicated operations support pursuant of our service and national objectives both at home and abroad. Together, we will pursue opportunities to train our air crews and ourselves that will enable the employment of their weapon systems in whatever environment they are tasked to deliver. Together, we will continue to ensure the Rock remains the foundation of operations for the Can-Do Wing and the entire Joint Base. All standing orders remain. Let's rock. Thank you.
At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Bishop will now receive his first salute as commander of the 305th Operations Support Squadron.
Squadron! Hey, Sir, the Rock is ready to take action under your command. To the Rock! Order!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Off we go.
Into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, swimming to meet our thunder. Adam, give it a gun. Get it a gun! Now we die, starting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, we'll go down in flames. Hey! Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. Please join us in welcoming Lieutenant Colonel Bishop and his family at the reception located at the back of the hangar.
Squadron!